He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but did he also inherit his dad's love for attention? We talked to an expert, and the answer is more complicated than you might think. Barron Trump was no stranger to the spotlight when his dad decided to run for president. For instance, many of us probably remember his appearance at Donald's 2007 Hollywood Walk of Fame induction ceremony and how he played with the microphone while his dad tried to make a speech. His dad jokingly described the toddler by saying, "He's tough, he's vicious, he's violent." However, it seems that Barron's pre-campaign public appearances weren't enough to fully acclimate him to the life in the limelight that his father is so fond of. In an exclusive interview with Nicki Swift, body language expert Nicole Moore told us that Barron's unease was evident when he stood on stage with his family at the 2016 Republican National Convention. While others around him were smiling and clapping, Barron didn't seem to be in a celebratory mood. Moore observed, "We see Barron standing stiff and wooden." Adding that Barron's slightly balled fist and clenched jaw were other indicators of his frame of mind at the time, she explained, "His body language here demonstrates tension, discomfort, and unsteadiness in the public eye. Not only did he look uncomfortable, but he also seemed quite tired, most likely due to Donald's grueling campaign schedule. You may recall how he was filmed yawning and appearing to nod off during his dad's RNC speech. He didn't clap when his family members did and seemed more interested in the arm of his chair than what was happening on stage. But really though, what kid would act any different in that situation? Before Donald Trump won the 2016 presidential election, he told People magazine that Barron wasn't exactly excited about the prospect of moving to the White House. He said, "It's a little scary for Barron. He thinks he is going to be taken away from his friends." One of Barron's first experiences in his new Washington, D.C. home had to be rather scary for him as well. During Donald's swearing in as president, millions of eyeballs were fixed on Barron and his family as they stood on stage in front of the U.S. Capitol. While his dad swore to uphold the Constitution, Barron clenched his fists and assumed a slouched posture that signaled how understandably unnerved he was by the ordeal. Nicole Moore told us, "His shoulders are also turning slightly inward, as if to protect himself. Barron's body language here indicates tension, discomfort, and a subconscious desire to protect himself, perhaps from the spotlight or the crowd." A statement from the White House made it abundantly clear that the tween would be spending little time in the public eye after Donald assumed office, providing additional evidence that he didn't possess his pop's insatiable appetite for attention.
It's true.
It read, "It is a long-standing tradition that the children of presidents are afforded the opportunity to grow up outside of the political spotlight. The White House fully expects this tradition to continue." However, Barron didn't completely disappear from the public eye. While Barron Trump often looked uncomfortable during Donald Trump's January 2017 inauguration, there were some signs that he had either been taught how to interact with a crowd or had learned the art of acknowledging acclamation by observing his family members. During the inaugural parade, he imitated his mother, Melania, by waving to the crowd with his hand held up high. But unlike Melania, he wasn't smiling, and his arm was rigid, whereas hers was bent in a position that looked more casual and comfortable. Nicole Moore told us, "He appears to be performing his role rather than relaxing into it, and this is evidenced by the fact that his face and jaw are tight, with a blank expression on his face as he's raising his hand into the air." Photos showed that many of the stands along the parade route were nearly empty on the dreary, overcast day, so at least Barron didn't have to worry about loud crowds making the experience more overwhelming. Nonetheless, it's possible that the gloomy atmosphere was getting to him. Moore said, "Barron's body language here seems to be indicating that he's going through the motions and doing what he's supposed to do, but he's not enjoying it." At first, Barron didn't reside at the White House with his father. His parents decided to let him finish out the school year in Manhattan, so Melania resided with him in Trump Tower until June 2017. A source explained to the New York Post, "The campaign has been difficult for Barron, and she is really hoping to keep disruption to a minimum." According to Reuters, it cost NYC up to $145,000 a day to provide security for the mother and son during that time. The NYPD got a reprieve from serving as Trump Tower security guards in April 2017. During the annual Easter egg roll in Washington, D.C., Barron was photographed on the White House's Truman balcony with the beloved celeb whom all the kids in attendance were there to see, the Easter Bunny.
"We're going to come out and enjoy you and enjoy your company for a roll, a great Easter egg roll."
While Nicole Moore noted to us that Barron looked more at ease during the event than he had at past public appearances, she added, "Barron's lips are in a completely straight line here, indicating zero positive emotion, and his eyes are slightly squinted as if he's displeased at what he's seeing. At this point, it looks as if Barron has accepted he'll be in the spotlight, but he's fighting it." In late 2017, Barron Trump's body language began telling a different story. According to Moore, it appeared that he was finally becoming more comfortable making public appearances when he joined his father for the annual turkey pardoning ceremony. While Barron's stance was still somewhat protective, Moore told us, instead of clenched fists, his hands are loosely holding one another, indicating ease. His shoulders are still turned inward slightly, but way less than we see when he was on stage in 2016. Barron was also photographed flashing a rare smile at the crowd as his dad declared that turkey's drumstick and wishbone would get to keep their drumsticks and wishbones intact. So maybe he's more of an animal lover than his older brothers, who are both well known for their love of hunting.
Even though you're well-to-do New Yorkers, this is part of your culture, hunting.
Very much so. I mean, we got into it at a very young age.
As Barron Trump got older, his demeanor continued to change. He appeared to possess a newfound confidence as he strolled across the South Lawn with his parents ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday in 2019. Moore told us, "Gone are his squinty eyes and tight jaw. Instead, we see a teen very relaxed in the spotlight." The Trumps were preparing to board Marine One, and Barron took a few long strides to step slightly in front of his father as they made their way to the helicopter. While doing so, Barron nodded at the members of the media present and gave them a casual wave before Donald Trump could do so himself. Moore explained Barron's actions by telling us, he knows his duty is to wave to the crowd, the nod acknowledging he's performed his duty. He's not joyful in his role, but he's accepted it. Barron had adopted a more mature style as well, ditching his colorful t-shirts for a black bomber jacket that appeared to be identical to one that former President Barack Obama owns. Another sure sign that Barron was growing up was his reported willingness to stand up to his dad. According to Rigged, How the Media, Big Tech, and the Democrats Seized Our Elections, Donald revealed that Barron had critiqued his debate style in 2020, telling him that he was being too tough on future President Joe Biden and interrupting his opponent too much.
The oil industry pollutes significantly.
I see.
Here's the deal. But
That's
you
a
can't
big
do that.
statement.
Well, if you let me finish the statement.
Nicole Moore told us that Barron Trump's desire to have a close relationship with his dad is evident in a 2018 video clip of the Trumps disembarking from Air Force One. Barron remained behind his parents as they descended the stairs, but as Moore observed, he makes a beeline past his mother Melania to walk close to his father Donald. She went on to explain that Barron's actions were his way of subconsciously reaching toward closeness with his father. We've seen plenty of signs that Barron looks up to his dad throughout the years, but these days, the looking up to roles have been reversed. It's not unfair to say that Donald Trump may even be jealous of Barron's 6'7" frame. In his book, Siege, Trump Under Fire, author Michael Wolff claimed that Donald used to joke about Barron's height by asking, "How do I stunt his growth?" After Barron exited Marine One during a 2018 flight on the copter, he appeared to reach for Melania's hand as she approached him. However, he swung it down to his side instead. Moore told us, it's almost as if his body language here is revealing a deep desire to be close to his parents, but then his conscious mind is directing him not to do that. The body language expert suggested that Barron was possibly becoming more image conscious as he grew older. Cameras captured him doing something similar during the 2017 inauguration parade, but in that instance, Barron yanked his hand away from Melania when she attempted to grab it. Oh, the merciful moods of tweens. While Barron seemingly grew out of wanting to hold his mother's hand years ago, reports suggest that he and Melania have a close relationship. Donald Trump's legal issues began piling up, but a source told People that it's Barron's future Melania is most concerned about. The insider stated, "She has always put him first." The source also described Melania as being a very protective mom. Kids can grow apart from their parents as they get older and become more independent, and being too protective can sometimes backfire. However, after analyzing Barron's body language, Moore determined he does actually want to be close to his family.